greetings, Tim Time YouTube watchers. So some of you probably recognize that. Maybe even recognize the frequency. Okay, for some of you people that know Morse code and remember those days, that's not that bad. For those of you that don't know Morse code and maybe never thought about learning, or maybe didn't think about learning it, something comes to mind, and I just wanted to share with you. And it's going to be on February 19th, and it will be the Bree Shooters Ground Wave CW contest. So I thought, I haven't used CW since the last contest. That's about the only time I ever use it is for the contest. And I'm not that good at it, but I used to know it pretty well. But for any of those of you that are interested in honing up your skills or brushing up or even learning it, W1AW runs code tests or code practice all the time, and over the whole gambit of frequencies. I believe 5 or 6 days a week. Alright, so here I am back after all that. But if you look here, sorry I don't have my big computer screen up yet, but this is just going to the W1AW website and choosing the W1AW operating schedule. And there's the days of the week that it runs, and they alternate between fast code and slow code, but multiple times throughout the day. And then this bulletin, they tell you a little bit more about it, but the list of frequencies is right here, so you should be able to hit one of those, 1.8, 3.5, 7, I don't know if you can still see it, 7.04, let's see, 14.04, oh gosh, I think they even go up into the, oh yeah, there's the 50s, 28, so there should be a frequency range there to fit your needs. But what I recommend is if you kind of had your older license like I did when I took mine, you had to have the code when you got your license. And then clear up into the advanced class was the last license I took that you'd have code for. Then after that they did away with code, but you know, I didn't use it that much. Couple contacts here and there. I wasn't that interested in it. I was always more interested in just getting a license for the electronics. I don't even talk that much, as you can tell. I mean, on the radio. But anyhow, if you're interested in code, which it's definitely something interesting to learn. You know, I guess you appreciate it more as you get older. But what I do now is to brush up on it. I'll start to copy some of their code practice, because I believe because at 5, 7.5, 12, 15 words a minute, they just pick things and type them from the periodical, and you copy them. But I actually sometimes will just leave this on, kind of in the background while I'm working over here, and you'd be surprised that even not paying a lot of attention to it, you start to pick up more and more of it, and before you know it, you're picking out a word, and your static speed is increasing. So I believe that's being sent at 18 words a minute. So, you know, if you're listening to it going, that's too fast, I'll never get that. Oh, you would. Believe it or not, you would. And it doesn't really take that much. You just have to learn the code. But anyhow, I just wanted to bring that up because, like I said, they do the Bree Shooters is down in southwestern Pennsylvania mainly, and they do the ground wave for CW, and then I believe the following week or 2 weeks later they do the phone ground wave, and I think you can do sideband, AM, FM. I believe we did that all, but you can only take, you know, you get points for it and everything. And it's a small local contest, easy to score points and maybe even win if you make a couple contacts, because it's not that big. So if you can get on, it'll be in the 10-meter band, and if you look at the Bree Shooters, I think it's a breeshooters.net website, they outline all the rules and the days and the times and everything. So give it a look. Let's see. So now that we're on the radio, let's just take a look at our usual. Let's see what's going on with Father Time. Can we hear the what's that, WV1 or whatever it is. So let me get to, take this to 3.5 and then go down and then we'll go up. Because we never tried the 2.5. I just realized that the other day. So let's throw it on AM. A little bit. So now we'll go to the evens. All right, so 2, let's see, up to 5 we'll go. 5's got a pretty solid signal.
Coordinated universal time.
All right, now we'll shoot up to 10. Wow, 10's got a nice signal. And then up to 15. I'm not sure if I'll have to double check. It's at 15 and 20. Can't hear anything there. Nor there, but it's like the 15-meter band, and that kind of goes away. It goes away kind of when the sun goes down. Okay, so that's we'll look at that, and then there's one other thing we have to take a look at down here that I'm trying to get things together. I don't remember how to turn the darn thing on. That was on. It lives. There it is. I'll give it a couple seconds to warm up here. Turn that down. I can hear someone talking already. So basically, the only microphone I have down here right now is the all right, I ran up and grabbed the D104 that I've been meaning to bring down here anyhow. So see if anybody hears us. Did notice the switches are a little, or the potentiometers are a little bit dirty. Oh yeah. Break 19. I don't want to turn it up that wide. Break 19. A little bit. Well, I don't really hear anything in there. We can see. So what I think I'm going to do is when I get a little bit more unpacked down here, before that goes back up into service, I think we'll do a quick alignment on it and clean all those, all the potentiometers in there. But other than that, it seems to be working just fine. Let's see. Even the on-the-air light comes on, and see if the upper and lower sideband lights still work. They should. Yep. Okay, well, that works. So the next thing I have to do is find out where I'm going to hang my monitor and get the computer up and running. All right, so let's see. Just a couple, there's something else I wanted to show you. So the house is in one location. Obviously the barn's in another location, maybe 100 feet away. I don't know, somewhere in that area, maybe 150, I don't know. But have internet up here at the house, and it's Armstrong Zoom internet, and I tell you what, it works great so far. Have no issues with it whatsoever. But I wanted to get it down at the barn, and they said, well, you have to get a whole new service down there. And I thought, well, maybe I can bury an Ethernet cable or something down there. But I talked to a friend who was telling me about a similar incident he had, and he mentioned that he had internet at his barn. I said, how'd you get it down there? And he bought like a point-to-point bridge set. There's, a transmitter and a receiver, transceiver and a transceiver. Actually, one axis is basically a master and the other axis is a slave. You set them up like that. And it's kind of, you hang them on the buildings and point them somewhat at each other. It doesn't have to be like, it's not like microwave where it's got to be right at each other. And I believe they operate in, the ones I think are in the 5 gigahertz range. But I hung one down at the barn, and I hung one up at the house. And the reason I didn't show it was because we've had snow, and it's been miserable out ever since. So they're kind of not even mounted permanently. I just wanted to see if they work. They work fantastic so far. So the setup for, I got 2 of them, and I also got just a TP-Link basic bare bones wireless router for that for like roughly $100. Don't forget to get cables. But I mean, there's tons of people on the internet that have them and show them, so I didn't bother showing mine. But definitely a good solution if you're running into that, trying, hey, how can I get internet somewhere a little bit more remote? And the nice thing is if I'm even down in that area, I can pick up the master booster or the master transceiver and basically remote into that, like it's almost like a wireless router that shoots a really far signal. So I have my choice when I'm down near the barn. I can either pick up the router that I put down there, or even pick up the wireless transmitter. So one thing is possibly putting another one, because I have another building over this way, so almost like a triangle then, and the master would be up at the house, and then the 2 slave transceivers would be one at the barn and one at the other building. So just something to think about. But while I was doing that, I had one of these doohickeys, and kind of glad that it didn't work out right, because this isn't even a surge suppressor. It's just a multiple outlet thing. But the thing is they give you a power supply basically to plug in, and it's so wide that when you plug it in, it hogs up all the other circuit, and it's not that high current. So it's not like they're doing that so you don't overdraw the outlet. It's just that it's so big that it doesn't work. So if you put something like this in, at least you get 1 or 2 other outlets. So I can put their transceiver in, and then I can put I think Armstrong calls it a pod. I was able to plug it in above. Either way, it doesn't much matter. But so I go to plug in the device, and boom, I get a spark shoots out, and the power blows. So I'm like, oh, that's great. The breaker blows rather. Oh, that's great. I just bought the power supply. Well, no, I didn't, which was good. Thank goodness for the breaker. It was this thingy here. I took the screws out of it, and let's see if I can see where it was. Right here. I'm going to try and see if I can put some light on it so you can see. Maybe I can even zoom it in a little bit. Right there, if you can see the black mark. Well, we'll pull it out anyhow. So I haven't pulled it out yet, so there's one part of it. You can see the weld mark on that. And there's the other. So apparently there's probably nothing in there that kept these separated, and I don't know if over time it just drooped on a little bit, or maybe when I plugged it in crooked, I don't know what to do. But you can see it all in there. So I don't know what brought that failure on, so to speak. Let's see, so this goes in like, move back out so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Put it back together. Yeah, look at that. That's, I don't know if you can really see how tight that is. I'll get you to get a look at that. Well, anyhow, so let's see. And the thing is that gets you is it does have an underwriter's sticker on it. That's usually what I look for when I buy stuff like this, is to make sure it's a GE, which you think's a pretty good name. What the failure would cause that to happen, and maybe just over time it sagged, or maybe the last thing plugged in there yanked on it or something. I don't know. I've had this for a long time, but I will use it no more. It will live in the garbage now. So just something to show you, and be careful of those kind of things. But anyhow, the reason I say it was kind of a blessing is because I ended up replacing it with one that was a surge suppressor, and that's kind of really what I think I needed for that. And you know, up here in the wild north, I think that what I find is maybe the power's not as conditioned as it normally would be closer to the city. I know there's backup generators here, and you know, I guess I don't know what kind of, I know get a lot of winter storms. I don't know what kind of summer storms we get, but you know, we get like 15 inches of snow last week, and now it's going to be down around 0 for the next day or two, and it's been hovering really cold for the last couple days. But so I haven't got anything done as far as the antenna goes. I'm just trying to get things together. Oh, one more thing I did want to show you. Let me get apart from the Titan DX. Okay, the Titan DX. If you're familiar with the antenna, it's got 4 other like kind of counterpoise further down at the very bottom, and the horizontal wire, and I forget what band that's for. Is it 10 meters goes around? So anyhow, there's these 4 80-inch rods that stick out. When I took the antenna down, it actually fell, and it bent this in half. So of course, you know, aluminum rod, when you went to straighten it out, it wasn't in very good shape. So what I did was I cut it, and then I just a couple different methods. I tried a heat gun, and actually forget what I used to come in here and kind of round these back out and make them somewhat good. And then I only had to trim about 1 inch off each side. So my plan is, I got a piece of these are 1/2 inch. I got a piece of 7/16 aluminum, and it will slide, when I help it a little bit, it will slide right down in there. Probably put it in about 1 inch or 2, and then 1 inch or 2 on the other side, and then I'll leave the gap to make up the difference, so that this can be 80 inches again. Yeah, it's going to change probably the characteristics of the antenna ever so slightly, but what I need to do is I'm going to need to just grind a little bit off of that, because it almost fits. It's like almost that exact size. So I don't dare want to shove it in there and try to tap it in there, because then it'll be in there forever, and not far enough. So what I want to do is, like I said, I'll probably take it down maybe about 2 inches, just slightly sand or grind some of it off there, so it fits in there tightly. And I'll do the same thing with the other end. I won't grind the 2 inches in the middle, so that'll be my stop point. And then if needed, I can always put a sheet metal screw through it, or maybe sheet aluminum screw. But prior to the move, the main shaft on the Titan, I don't know, a deer must have went through and caught the guy wires or something, because the main shaft bent. So I have to devise a way to straighten that out, because that, I don't even know what size that is, but it's considerably bigger, and it's about, I think it's probably about 8 foot long. So I imagine that would be quite costly, and to have it shipped. You got somebody breaking on 19. Go ahead, breaker. Oh, very good. You're definitely making a good trip in here. It's not a lot of noise on the band.
Yeah, roger that. We're running a 5/8 ground plane base station antenna. It started out pretty good here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a would have had an Antron 99. Got it about 10 feet up in the air right now, and that's it. Roger, I know it. I'm running an old Golden Eagle, a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III right now. It's 23 channel, 4 watt output, plain Jane.
Yeah, what's your setup there?
Did you copy? I'm running a Browning Golden Eagle, and I'm running an Antron 99 antenna. That's it. Everything's barefoot. Oh, very good. Well, I'm kind of stuck far away from the microphone. I had to reach over stuff to grab it. I couldn't believe anybody was calling in there. Yeah, your signal's here probably a little bit better than a 3, but I can't really tell because my meters, it doesn't have the numbers go down that low, but I can definitely hear you. You're over the noise. All right, very good. Name's Tim. You guys, you take it easy, and maybe we'll talk to you later. What you saw, well, you can see some of it. Anyhow, like I always say, 11 meters isn't dead, or CB. There's always somebody in there. Turn that on so I don't have to yell over it. A couple of things when I'm making these videos is I can't really see how bright the stuff is until I get out, and then I can tell when the picture's a little bit grainy, or I thought I focused in a little bit better and should autofocus. And the other thing is too with the noise. Sometimes I have that turned up and don't realize how noisy it is. But that's all I have for tonight. I get back to work and maybe get a couple more things unboxed. So thanks for watching. It's Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.